Hi guys, welcome to my channel over here. My name is Dawn, where we do all things beauty, sprinkling a little bit of fashion. Today we're going to do my yearly favorites video, which what that is, if you're new here, is I take my favorite products and I do it seasonally. So spring and summer, fall and winter. So these are all products that I tried in the spring and summertime that were my favorites. Out of everything that I tried, things I've repurchased, things I couldn't put down, things that I plan to repurchase. I have some skincare. I have one perfume, which isn't new to my collection, but I've never shared it in a favorites. And so I decided to put it in this one. I have some makeup brushes. I have a sponge. And then we have, I think I said hair care product and a body care product. A lot of these you guys saw in speed reviews because a lot of them I do share. There are some stuff that I don't share on camera. And then you see them in a speed reviews, or even there's been some things I've tried that I never shared in a speed review. But for the most part, I always share with you guys what I try, whether it was on camera or not in a speed review. But these are products that I just had a hard time putting down. All of my skincare products are empty, and I will tell you why. They're my favorites. I have one on its way through Amazon. And the other three is because I'm trying out new products. I'm always liking to try out new skincare products. So skincare wasn't necessarily hard for me. I just didn't try a lot that became like my favorite in the summer and springtime. I tried a lot, but they didn't become my favorite. But I like to try a lot. So the other three, I'm trying out some products, but they will be repurchased after I'm done with these products. I do have my final thoughts on those, so you'll see those in a speed review this month. But I just want to let you know that's why they're empty. They're not in here just to have them in here. They are absolutely my favorites. And I've mentioned them many times in skincare videos or speed reviews. So grab a snack, grab a drink. Usually these are typically a little bit longer than most videos. I don't have a lot because I feel like I did a little bit better with this video than my fall and winter. There was some stuff I definitely decided to put back because I have to be very cutthroat dry. And these are just the products that I could not stop putting down, or I have repurchased or going to repurchase. Whereas my last one, my first actual seasonal was a fall and winter one, was really hard. And I think it's because A, it was my first video, and B, I just had a hard time because I love makeup, I love skincare, I love body care and hair care and all things, everything. I do sometimes sprinkle in like workout type of stuff, electronics, foods, but I haven't really tried anything that has stood out in those categories to put in this video. So grab your snack, grab your drink, and please give this video a thumbs up if it's one that you have enjoyed. And I would love to have you consider smashing that subscribe button and becoming a part of my family over here. I love all of you guys, and comment down below. I love to hear from you all if you've tried any of these products or if any of these are your favorites. So let's get to my favorites for spring and summertime. So we're going to start with skincare because I don't have as much skincare, and we're going to start with sunscreens. Now, over the summer, I tried quite a bit of sunscreens, and I am going to be doing a roundup sunscreen video for you guys. These are in the works, so I don't know when they're going to be uploaded for you all, but they're in the works because there's a few other sunscreens I'm trying at the moment and that I possibly want to try. I haven't decided on a couple. I'm going to be doing a roundup of my favorite toners because I'm a lover of all sorts of toners, and a roundup of retinols because I'm a retinol lover, being at the fact that I'm going to be 39 soon. So we're going to start with sunscreen, and we're going to start with e.l.f. Now, e.l.f. came out over the summer with their Sun Touchable Whoa Glow, and then also their Sun Touchable All Set for Sun Setting Spray Sunscreen. The spray is 45 SPF, 30 SPF. I know they came out with another one that's not glowy. I haven't tried that one yet, but that's in the works to be tried. And that will be in my roundup for my sunscreen videos. This one, I have a little bit left. I'm also a creature of habit, if you haven't noticed, of not liking to waste products. So I really like to try to squeeze every last bit out before purchasing again. Okay, we definitely probably just wasted quite a bit there. My apologies, but it's so just beautiful, you guys. It reminds me a lot of the, what is that one? It's a glowy one that's high end. I'm drawing a blank right now, but just the beautiful glow it gives, it reminds me of that. It's got some color so you don't have any white cast, which I love. Just look at that beautiful glow. It's inexpensive, $14, I believe. I'll have everything linked below, by the way, with their prices as well, just because I can't for the life of me remember every price. But just look at that. It's beautiful. If you're someone that loves a glowy base and you love a 2-in-1, this is perfect for you. And so is the setting spray we'll get to in a minute, because this can be your primer and sunscreen all in ones. I haven't had an issue with peeling besides one product, and it's my powder foundation. And I actually have it in this video because I've absolutely loved it. I'm almost out of it. I probably should just repurchase it, but we'll get to that. Instead of trying to use up every last bit. But it's beautiful, 2-in-1, great product. And then we have the setting spray, again, a 2-in-1 great product as well. It doesn't change. One thing I like about it is it doesn't change your complexion. So the finish of your complexion. So if you are someone that likes a matte finish, you can go in with this and have a matte finish. It's got the ball in there, as you can hear, to shake it all up, make sure everything gets mixed in well. Or if you like a glowy base like me, you can use this and it won't change that complexion finish. It has a good high SPF. It's a great way to reapply without, having to worry about messing with your makeup or your makeup getting messed up. And it's a setting spray and a sunscreen. So again, a great 2-in-1. The only drawback I will say is the size is small. And I believe this is like $14. Maybe that's cheaper and this is $14. Again, I'll just list and link everything with prices down below. I'm trying to see what the size of this is because I was quite surprised, to be honest, that it looked a little bit bigger in pictures, but it's actually kind of small. It's 2 ounces. It did last me a long time. I still have just a tiny bit left in it, but I will definitely repurchase it. I'm not going to wait to, obviously, repurchase it after I've used a tiny bit, because honestly, there probably isn't even enough to cover my face. And it doesn't mess with my complexion. Anytime I used it, it didn't. Not just change the finish of the complexion, but it didn't do anything. It didn't mess up my makeup. All right, and then the last sunscreen is actually a sample size. And again, use the last bit before I go full size, but I'm definitely purchasing full size. It's in my Target cart to purchase it here soon because I'm almost out of this one. But I got it in a sample. I'm also, if you're new here, someone that likes to get smaller travel sample sizes of trying a new product before going in headfirst and purchasing a full size. This is the Hero Force Shield Super Light Sunscreen SPF 30. I really like this. It's a lot like the Well Glow from e.l.f. But I feel like it's not as glowy and it pairs really well with all my makeup. It gives a beautiful natural finish where honestly, I've gotten really comfortable in my skin. As you've noticed here, I have one fuller coverage foundation and then one skin tint as my 2 foundations because like I said, I had to be really cutthroat dry, and I'm just more of a lighter coverage person because of the comfortability in my skin now. And I've gone out in public with just this on because it just gives a beautiful natural look and it's also protecting my skin. So I absolutely love that as well. All right, now we're going to dive into our few things of skincare. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with this retinol. Beautiful retinol, you guys. It is the Honest Beauty Honestly Pure Retinol Serum. This is amazing. I actually have this in my cart to repurchase when I'm done testing the retinol I'm testing right now. This did wonders on my skin. Again, I'm going to be 39, just for some reference. I have dry skin. I have pores like everyone, but I don't have problems with enlarged pores. I have sun damage spots, as you can see, more so on my forehead. I've got some wrinkles up there. I'm a very expressive person. If you haven't noticed in my videos, I use my hands. I am expressive with my face. So I definitely have developed lines here, up here, and then a little bit of here, and then obviously my age. And this has been very gentle. I was able to put it under my eyes too with the fine lines and wrinkles under there. It's very hydrating. It dries down really quickly. It is paired well with all skincare that I've used, tested, and tried. So different types of skincare. And I love the component. It's just a twist up. It lasted me several months. I just wanted to test out a product, but this is one that is in my cart, ready to be repurchased, because I absolutely love it. And I feel like the best thing is it made a difference. The one I'm testing now, I feel like it's slowly making a difference, but within a few weeks, this was making a big difference. My lines are more so up on my forehead, and it definitely softened them and filled them in. So I absolutely love this. I highly recommend it. The next one is from Versed, which is a new brand to me. It's a drugstore. You can get it at Target. It's the Baby Cheeks All-in-One Hydrating Milk. I just ran out of this, but I wanted to try another one. So this is again in my cart with that Hero sunscreen to be repurchased because I love this. It is a milky texture toner, but it's very thin. It's like water but milky. The only thing I don't like is the component. I found it really hard to get out any of my product, and so I went ahead and bought, it's up there, but I don't want to get up and grab it because I'm kind of lazy. And so I grabbed one of those like travel size bottles that you would get when you're traveling to put shampoo and conditioner in, and just poured this in there. I had to pour it a few times because there's quite a bit of product in here. You get 4 fluid ounces, and I believe this is only $18 at Target, so I feel like a great price. It does really, really good. It's vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, dye-free, no parabens, silicone, sulfate, phthalate, phthalates, and no mineral oil. And it really just is hydrating. It brightens my skin. It smooths my skin. It left my skin looking glowy, plumped, and just beautiful all day long. I feel like this is very comparable to many high-end toners for only $18. So absolutely love it. It will be 100% a repurchase. Then the next one is a thermal water. And I know people say thermal water doesn't do much, but I love this one. I tried 2 out, one from Bioma and one from this one. I teetered back and forth on having the Bioma one in here, but I reached for this one more than the Bioma one. This one, I emptied the can a lot faster. For one, this mister is just amazing. It evenly mists your face. It feels so refreshing and cooling. It's so hydrating, doesn't dry my skin out. I have, again, dry skin, but there's times that a product that's a spray that's like water or like a rose water, for example, I've tried a few of those. Some of them have dried my skin out. They didn't do anything for my skin. They dried it out. This has even helped when my rosacea is kicking up. Like I can feel it right now with all the lights and the heat on my face. I would spray this and it would just calm down my face as well. And I really liked it to re-wet my face for certain products or just throughout the day, even over makeup. It did really well if I needed a refresher. I highly recommend it. I know people say it's just thermal water, but there is really good antioxidants in thermal water that's good for your skin as well. And then the last skincare is one that I found through Amazon. It's the Diabla First Spray Serum. It hydrates, it gives radiant skin. This is actually my second bottle. I have my third one on its way right now. It was purchased, it was shipped, it's on its way. I love this. It has white truffle, which is really, really good for your skin. It does a great job as a setting spray. I've used it as skincare, as like a spray serum in my skincare routine. I've also used it as a setting spray and it's done wonders for both. It has set my makeup. It gives such a beautiful, healthy glow to your skin and it lasts a good amount of time. Let's see the size on this. It's also vegan and it's a Korean brand. It's 100 milliliters, 3.38 fluid ounces. Highly recommend this. It's got a beautiful smell. Like I can't describe it, but it's a really good smell and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful product. I'm so glad I found it. It's worth every penny. Absolutely recommend. All right, let's go ahead and go into our, let's see here, our perfume and then our hair and body care. This is the perfume, cliche, I know. However, I love this perfume and I feel like it's even, I mean, there's a little bit left. This is the small size too. You can get the full size. I honestly don't feel like you need the full size. This lasts a long time. I know some people say that it doesn't last on their skin for very long, and I would agree to that per se. So this smaller size is 3 fluid ounces. So I can only imagine how much the bigger one is, but I just go with this. Yeah, for me, sometimes it just depends. But it also, with any perfume, depends on your body chemistry. I feel like this lasts on me longer than how long it lasts on other people that I've heard of. I love the caramel scent, the vanilla. This I feel like is a good summer scent and also a winter scent. It's just a great all year scent. Like the smell reminds me of a campfire and then it also reminds me of like sitting by the fire in your home around Christmas time, marshmallows. Like it's just a delicious scent and I highly recommend it. All right, the next one is a hair mask. It is by Eva NYC. It's their therapy session hair mask. It has argan oil, plant protein, and it is free of parabens, phthalates, LES, MIT, MCIT. I don't know what any of that is. Mineral oil, nanoparticles, trilaciclin, trilacarbon, PHT, BHA, oxybenzone, phthalate, gluten, and PEGs. It is such a good mask, and you get a good amount, 500 milliliters, 16.9 fluid ounces. Before this, I was using the Heritage hair mask, which I did enjoy, but I love this. This just really hydrates my skin. I use it twice a week. Just a very small amount. It hydrates, it repairs your split ends. I really need to go get a haircut, and it's made my hair look healthy while I'm waiting to find that time to go get a haircut. I'm a very, very busy woman, and it really does just like, it's hard to explain. Like, it conditions really well. And it also, I would say, like, takes your, whatever products you're using, shampoo, conditioner, any other products, and it helps just combine all those together and lock everything in. And it does a good job locking in moisture. So absolutely recommend. And then, of course, we have Tree Hut Body Scrub. The pineapple scent has been my favorite. I've tried so many scents, but delicious. It smells like pineapple. The scrub is rough enough, but gentle enough at the same time. It leaves my skin so smooth. And it also helps after I've scrubbed my body and I go in to wash my body. It does a great job of not having to use as much of my body wash to get my skin clean. It just leaves such a great scent, and it lasts a long time. I use this a couple times a week, and between the 2 times I have like 4 or 5 days of no use, and my skin is just still so very soft. It gets all the dead skin cells off. If you suffer for bumps, I can't remember the name of that. I have them here on my elbow, but they're hardly there now because this has done an amazing job with that. All right, now we're gonna jump into any like tools. So let's go ahead and jump into my very recent, but I've grown to love it, sponge. You guys all know my beloved sponges from AOA Studio that I get on Amazon. I've featured those many times. I didn't feature them in this just because it was something that was tried before spring and summer, and these are spring and summer products I've tried. And then we have quite a few brushes that I tried over spring and summer, although most of them, they're from 3 different brands. But this is from Rim Beauty, and she came out with this when she came out with her sweetener foundation. When I bought this online at Ulta, it actually was given to me for free for purchasing it online, I guess. So I didn't purchase it. I don't know if I would have honestly purchased it because I love those AOA Studio sponges. I can get 9 of them for $9 on Amazon, and I believe this is like $12. But it's a great sponge. I love that it's got this bigger spot that you can use, you know, for your foundation of blending. You got this that you can use for the inner corner or even just all over under your eyes for your concealer. It's got this smaller spot that you can get right here into smaller areas, like if you've done your brows and you're just needing to get a little bit right there. Then you got this bigger side that you can use for a foundation. You can use to set if you use a sponge for powder, or if you're like me and you like to spray your setting spray and then tap it in after it's set for a minute to help it get in the skin, you can use that. It has many sides, and I've had this for months now, and there's no rips, no tears. It washes easily, it dries really fast, and it blends my makeup really well. So I highly recommend it, as well as those AOA Studio brushes, or I mean sponges. All right, let's go ahead and jump into my most recent, well, sort of most recent find, and that is all of these brushes throughout the summer from BK Beauty. Now we have a couple from the Angie Hot and Flashy set, and then we just have some random ones, and then we have the eye brush ones, which I feel like I'm missing one. Maybe not. All right, so we have the 208. I love this for liner. Now, I don't usually use a liquid liner. I've been dabbling and playing around a little bit with liquid liner lately and trying to do like a wing liner. I don't know if that's my thing. I'm still playing with it. But I like to use eyeshadow. I have hooded eyes if you can't tell. So I like to put eyeshadow up there and my lower lash line for liner. This is perfect for that. It's small enough. It does such a good job of keeping the shadow on. Like, the shadow is compacted on the brush and it stays on. I really don't get fallout very often at all. Even with shadows I typically would get fallout, not with this brush. Highly recommend this entire set for hooded eyes. I do want to get the smaller eye set or the Angie Hot and Flashy set. I'm looking at picking up one or both of those sets because I love BK Beauty brushes. I started trying them out in the beginning of summer and I've fallen in love. They're all just very soft. They're really not that expensive. Yeah, they're a little bit more than some drugstore brushes, some that I'm actually going to speak of here. However, amazing, worth the price. The quality is amazing. I've used these brushes numerous times, have washed them numerous times. They're all so soft still, just like they were when I first got them, and they have not shed once. The handles are still well put together. Love them. And then you have the 203 here. I like to use this to define my outer line at times, or sometimes I will pinch it off right here and smoke out liner under there. Amazing brush. And then we have the 207. I will use this to do an outer corner look, and I absolutely love it. Sometimes, again, I'll use it to smudge the lower lash line. And then we have this one that is the 202 that I use for in my crease for putting shadow in it. And sometimes even I will use a different brush to apply the shadow and then use this to blend it out. It applies it very easily, it diffuses it very easily, and it blends your shadow very easily. And then we have all of these. This one is the 110. I actually originally got this one for what it's intended for, which is concealer. I think it's all right for that. For me personally, it's too big, but I love to use it to set my under eyes or my T-zone because of the size. It does a really well job of that. It disperses your powders, or your cream even too. It does a good job of using it as a concealer brush. To me, it's just too big. I don't like to get concealer all over. I like to keep it kind of condensed under the eyes. But it does a great job of applying your concealer really well, and then it disputes the powders that you're using, whatever that may be, really, really evenly, really well. It gives a good diffused look. And then we have this foundation brush, which I actually had used from time to time before getting the smaller version of it. And the foundation brush number is the 101. It's a very famous brush of theirs, but I did use it for cream product as well. I did enjoy it for that. It blended it out really easily, really quickly, did a good job dispersing it where it needed to go. And it also is great for foundation. I love the fact that it's angled so you can get it all in your nooks and cranny and corners. It's very dense, so you can get a very full coverage, or you can go in very lightly and get a more lighter, softer coverage. So it's a great multi-purpose brush as well. And then we have the 109, which every time I tried to purchase it, you guys, it was sold out. And I see why. It's such a great brush. I need to get another one for my cream and liquid blushes because I really am curious. I like have this thing where I won't use this brush for like cream bronzer or liquid bronzer and then go and use it for blush as well. So I have to get another one for my blushes. I don't know what it is. I just have this thing about doing that. But beautiful. Beautiful, you guys. It blends so well. It diffuses the cream. Again, just like their foundation. It's just a mini size of the foundation. It does such a great job, and it really does such a great job to contour right there. The size is perfect. And then you have the 112. This one took me a bit to grow on me. Out of all of these, it really did, but I actually really like it. It's really soft and just very fluffy. So you can go in with liquids, which I've done that with my blushes, and get a very soft diffused look, or you can go in with powders and you can pack it on and it gives a very soft and diffused look as well. And I love the angle. It was the size that got me for a while, but don't be fooled by its size. It's small but mighty. Like, it will cover your entire cheek area with just a couple swipes, and all these brushes blend things out seamlessly and very quickly. And then we have their bronzer, 103. I have fallen in love with this bronzer. I've had a hard time not using this. And when it's dirty, like, I want to quickly go wash it so I can use it the next day, because I use it constantly all the time. I love the fact that it's not too big and it's not round, that it's got this type of shape to it. And you can either use the flat side and bronze up your face, or you can use the head part and bronze up your face. And again, it's not too big and it's not too small. It's perfect size. It blends and diffuses perfectly. And then the last two are from the Angie Hot and Flashy line. And we have her A507, which is her blush brush, which kind of reminds me a little bit of this one, just a bigger size. But if you see, not just the size is bigger, but the head itself is bigger. The bristles are a little bit longer than this one, and it's so soft. And it just does such a great job. I use this for powders. I've not yet to use it for creams, and I probably never will, but it just softly diffuses your blush. It puts it down perfectly. It picks up the right amount of product perfectly like all these other brushes do, and I love it. And then you have her concealer, which is the A506, which is pretty much a smaller of these two as well. It's a paw brush. It's supposed to mimic your fingers. And I've had such a hard time putting this down as well. And again, like other ones, when it's dirty, I want to rush and clean it so I can use it the next time. The shape is just so unique and interesting. And it just perfectly gets on the corner of your eyes, perfectly under your eyes here. It blends really well quickly. I always, no matter what, so if you ever see me using this brush and you see me going with a sponge, I always do that. I like to go at least right here and blend together. I don't always go under my eyes because my brush, especially this one, does such a great job with blending. But I like to take the sponge and just cohesively blend in right here where my foundation ends and my concealer begins. So just for reference, but oh my gosh, such a beautiful brush. All of these, I highly recommend BK Beauty. Obviously, I didn't buy these all at once. It was throughout the summer, and I will continue to purchase more and try out more because none of these brushes have failed me. All right, and then we have another set. It is the Morphe Plus Ariel X set here. I love these too. They're very, very soft, and they all blend very well. So this one is the A22. I like to use this to set under the eyes, my T-zone sometimes, and all over the face, but in targeted areas. I love that it's rounded, but very fluffy. So you get a very light dusting of powder. I am someone that doesn't like to use a lot of powder. There is one powder in this video here that has just like grabbed my soul, and I absolutely love it. It's my Holy Grail powder. And if you've been watching my videos, you're gonna know which one that is after I said that. And I just couldn't put any other powders in. And I do want to say, just because you guys maybe have seen me in speed review videos just rant and rave about amazing products, and just because you don't see them in here doesn't mean A, I don't like them, and B, I don't use them. It's just, again, I'd be very cutthroat dry and pull out my absolute favorites that I've had a hard time putting down. So I still love all those other products and still use them as well. Anyways, back to these. All of these brushes are very soft, wonderful. They blend so well. And then you have this one that is the A14. I like to use this to do any highlighter. I'm not sure if that's what it's intended for. I can't remember what all these are intended for, but such a great brush set. And then you have this one that is the A58. I like to use this one for blush. It actually reminds me a lot of a Real Techniques one that I've been trying out that I just recently purchased, so it's not in this video. You haven't seen it yet in the speed reviews, but the shape really does remind me of that. It's so just, a lot of creams I don't like to be in your face, and a lot of my blush I don't like in your face. I just like a diffused wash of color so I don't look so crazy washed out. And this does such a great job. The shape is great. You can either use the side or use the brush here or the head here, and it's so soft that it diffuses and it just softly gives you a wash of color with your blush. And I like to use it with creams or liquids, not any powders. And then you have this one that is a powder. It's A21. I use it to set all over. I've even used it as bronzer. And again, you can use the side, you can use the tip, and I just think it's a very unique shape. It is more rounded than the one from BK Beauty, and they're a little bit close in size, but it's very unique as well because it's not too big. So I do enjoy that one. And then you have this one that I know is labeled as foundation. Is the A24. I've tried it with foundations. I've tried it with my powder. I've tried it, the one powder foundation I have. I've tried it with liquids. I don't really like it with powders. I feel like it's too soft. It's way too soft. And even though I like a lighter coverage, it gives way too much of a light coverage. And I do find that it's a little streaky for foundation. However, I do really like it for my cream bronzers. I feel like or even contours. I usually don't contour. I usually just go in with a liquid bronzer and then go over it to set it with a powder bronzer, or sometimes I just set that cream with a powder and leave it like that. But I absolutely love it for creams, or for bronzers, creams or liquid bronzers. It just does this great job of diffusing. You need very little when you use this brush, and it blends in very nicely. All right, we have two Real Techniques here. We have the R243. I like to use this as a concealer under here. It does such a great job. The angle is really nice. It blends really well and it washes really well. And then we have the domed shadow brush, which is a 314. But what I like to use this for is sometimes, more often than not, I'll go in with my finger for like my color corrector, just because the warmth of my finger warms it up and it blends it easily. But I do like to go in with this brush from time to time, dip it in the pot because I don't like to stick my finger in it. And I will take it and place it and blend it, and it does placement really well and blends really well. Then I go in with my finger. So it's very much a versatile brush. It does remind me a lot of the BK Beauty one I have here. However, I do like the BK Beauty one a little bit more for eyeshadow, and a lot of that's because of the size. The shape is about the same, but the size is a lot bigger, and for having hooded eyes, you gotta be careful with size. So that is skincare, hair care, body care, perfume, and our tools. We're gonna go ahead and just start off with the two products I only have one of, and that first product is my beloved powder. It is the Micole powder, and it's called the Skin Melt Loose Powder. I have mine in translucent. The only thing that sucks is this part broke. I'm not sure how that happened. My kids use my makeup too, even though they have their own, so that's probably how I have to be really careful. But I love it's got the mesh. I love the packaging, and the price is amazing, absolutely. And I've just fallen in love with this. As I stated, I have dry skin, and so I've tried so many powders. I have so many powders. I have powders I like, but this has just stolen my heart, you guys. Like, it blurs, it smooths, it's so finely milled. Let me show you. It's just, all in all, if you're someone with dry skin, if you're someone that struggles to find a powder that's not too drying, too cakey, isn't too much, you're looking to have something blur and smooth, that, you know, again, another 2-in-1. You could go in with a primer and then just another powder, but when I want that smooth look and that blurred look, I just go in with this powder. I don't even use a primer. But just look how finely milled that is, and it's so soft and silky, and it blends in so quickly. There you go, it's done. And it just looks amazing on the skin. I have been searching and searching and looking, and I found her. The next is foundation. It is the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Foundation. I have mine in 1 in 110. I never tried their old one, so I've said it a million times, I can't contest to their old formula. This is the new formula. I do like that the outer packaging does represent the shades, so that's awesome and unique and different. It's got a nice smear. It had a sponge. I tried the sponge, but I felt like the sponge was great for a few uses, but eventually it got hard to wash and it just didn't perform as well, so I tossed it. But as you can see, we're almost out of this powder. I do find, I'm wearing it today, and I found that as we've hit pan and you're trying to get the rest of your powder out in here, it's hard to get an even application on whatever tool you're using. I do like to use my powder puffs. I do like to use a brush sometimes, just depends on my mood. And I tried both today, and I felt like it didn't perform as well. So I do want to point that out. It's still my favorite. It does such a beautiful job. As you can see, it's on my face today, of just blurring and smoothing and not looking dry or caking. I don't normally like powder foundations. I'll try them, and I've tried quite a few, but all in all, I haven't came across one until now that I've loved and I'm putting in a favorites video. It does such a beautiful job. It looks like skin. I do actually even like their liquid HD foundation. I never repurchased it just because I always try so many foundations. So if I repurchased a foundation, I love it. And this will be repurchased for sure. I thought maybe I would finish it out, but I'm feeling like once you start hitting pan and it's getting harder to get whatever tool you're using in there, it's kind of hard to get an even application. So I would recommend purchasing again, but I've definitely got my use out of this, and it's such a beautiful finish. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and go into the two primers I have. One's drugstore and one is high-end. And this is the new e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer they came out with over the summer. I love this one. This blurs, it smooths, it's hydrating, it's beautiful. Now, I tried their potted one and it was all right. It did all that to a degree. Slightly did that for my skin. And again, I don't have enlarged pores, but I do have texture up in this area. So I'll focus any pore filling, smoothing type of primer in here, just the little bit of pores that I do have to kind of smooth them out. And then up here on the cheek area where my texture is, and up here on the forehead. That's where most of my pores are up here. They are a little bit bigger there than on my cheeks. But the difference is the potted ones were too drying. This is not. It's so smoothing and it's so hydrating. I highly recommend this one over the potted one if you have that problem. And then we have Danessa Myricks. She stole my heart as well. It's the first product that I tried from her. I do have another product here, but this was the first one. I do have one in my Sephora cart because as you see, we're scraping the sides, but Sephora VIB is coming up. So obviously I'm going to be picking this up again because I absolutely love it. I have mine in the universal shade. I use it as a primer. You can get it in colors and use it as a foundation. I've never tried that. Comment below and let me know if you have and how you feel like it performs that way. But the universal shade as a primer performs so well. Packaging's cute, comes with a scooper. I will just scoop a little bit here in the middle instead of pulling out that scooper, because sometimes the scooper is kind of difficult to get in. But it's so hydrating and it really does a great job of blurring and smoothing and filling in the texture. I mean, look at that. Beautiful, you guys. Like, I don't always recommend high-end a lot of things. I feel like drugstore does better, but I'm in love with this and she's in my cart to be repurchased in the next couple of weeks. All right, let's go ahead and, I did my powder foundation and I skipped over my skin tint. So let's do that real quick and then we'll go into concealer because I only have a couple there as well. And that is a good segue, the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It hydrates, it smooths, it color corrects. Again, I've gotten so comfortable with my skin and I tried so many skin tints this summer. It was like the summer skin tints for just the beauty community. And I fell in love with this. Out of all the skin tints I have, she is my favorite. And that's why I pulled her instead of this one. I mean, I knew I was pulling her anyways, but instead this one and others, chef's kiss. It's so just juicy looking. Like your skin looks so healthy, glowy, but not in a bad way, dewy, but not greasy. Like it gives me just the right amount of coverage. It's lighter coverage, but it's not too light. There is coverage there. It blends so beautifully. It lasts for skin tint on me. Like if I put this on, go to the gym, I'm having a rough day, I'm moving around, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, it will last me up to 6 hours before it starts breaking apart. And usually that's on my nose where foundations always break apart first. And then, you know, the rest is here, my T-zone, all that. Oh my gosh, beautiful. I have mine in the shade 4. I don't remember if I told you guys this at the beginning of the video when I talked about my roundups with my skincare, but I'm also will be doing a roundup of skin tints that I've tried. I have 2 more. One that I still have to try and another one I still have, 2 I still have to try and one I'm gathering my final thoughts on, and then I will do that. The skin tint roundup will probably be coming towards the end of the year, and then I also will be doing a concealer roundup. That one's going to be coming before the skincare and the skin tint because I'm just trying out one other one and then I'll be doing that video because there was a lot of concealers too that came out, but those all have came out after spring and summer pretty much officially ended. So those are not even in this video. I have concealers, 2 of them, but not the newest ones. But I'll be doing a roundup of all my skin tints and numbering them from 1 to I think I have like 7 or 8. But just look how beautiful this is. And again, I have the shade 4. It blends so easily, so quickly. I like it with a sponge. I think a brush does a good job too, but I prefer it with a sponge. Just look at that beautiful glow. I love it. And the color is good. Now the color might be a little too dark for summer or winter time, but we'll be okay. All right, let's go ahead and do concealers next. And we have 2 here. We have the Giorgio Armani, and I think it's just the Giorgio Armani. I don't remember. I have it in 4.5. It's a little messy, as you can see. Pulling it out, it does get quite messy, but it has a very unique and interesting doe foot. And I feel like it applies products really well with the doe foot. The packaging's cute. It's Giorgio Armani, so it should be because it ain't cheap. The shade is decent. It's good for me. It's a pretty good shade match. It's got some beautiful hydration to it, but it is very good and targeted for mature skin. Again, I'm going to be 39 in December, And I like to target myself and claim myself to be mature skin just because I'm heading into my 40s. I don't feel like I necessarily have mature skin, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong, and it doesn't hurt any to gear your skincare and makeup products towards that type of skin. And I feel like it's not drying, it's not cakey. I have fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes. I've got texture right here, and it does a great job of smoothing over all of that. All concealers crease on me, every single one, even my most recent favorites that I've been trying out. So I do usually set, but it sets really well and it minimally creases. So I absolutely love it. And then we have Natasha Denona. I will say I like this one over that one because it's more hydrating. It has such a beautiful, healthy glow to it. And even when I set it, even if I set it with a puff, which is more of a set than going lightly setting with a brush, I still have that beautiful, healthy glow. It just looks so beautiful and hydrating. The doe fur is really nice and unique. It diffuses, again, the product really nicely. The skin, or the shade match, is more my skin tone, more of a better shade match. I have an in4, neutral 4. I lean more towards neutrals for concealers and my foundations. And just look at the hydration compared to that one. So pretty. I have had such a hard time putting this down, and I love the packaging of this as well. Like, even over my newer ones, I'm still trying to reach for this. I'm like, no, Dawn, reach for those new ones. You like the new ones too, and you're doing this roundup video, so you need to get your final thoughts on those because you already know you love this one. And you need to also get your final thoughts for a speed review for those. It's hard. All right, we're gonna go ahead now, I think, and jump into liquids. I have one liquid, or cream, I guess. I have one cream bronzer and one cream blush. And the cream bronzer is from Makeup Revolution. It's their Ultra Cream Bronzer. I have it in light. You need so little. Now, if you're new to creams, liquids, and all that, I wouldn't recommend this because I've gone ham on accident with it. And I've used creams for a while. It's so like hydrating and dewy and beautiful, and it blends super easily. But again, you can go a little crazy, so you gotta be careful. I do like the shade light. It's not too deep, it's not too red, it's not too orange, it's not too dark. It's a beautiful cream product, and it blends really, really nicely. And it's $8. I mean, come on, you guys. Drugstore does a great job in so many categories. And then we have a high end here. And it is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Fill in Barely Blushing. Now, I love his bronzer in this form. I think it's Soft Sculpt is what it's called. Love it. I love this too. I haven't tried any other shades, but this shade is so beautiful. It's the same formula. If you've tried his cream bronzer like this one, you know the formula. It's so beautiful. This shade at least is very, very light. But again, a lot of times, especially with my creams and liquids of blushes, I like just a soft wash of color, and this provides it. It's a great color. I got it in the summertime, but it's actually a great color for fall too. I like more berry tone, deeper tones in the fall and winter. So pretty. It's so hydrating. It effortlessly blends. It does fade, I would say, more than some of my other blushes, even some of my drugstore ones. But the fact that it places down on my face so well. The shade is beautiful. It blends easily. I'll take the fact that if I set it, I need to set it with a brush instead of a puff, because once you set it, it does kind of take some of that shade away. And again, the shade's a little bit lighter than some, I'm assuming. Again, I haven't tried others, but it looks like a very light shade, but it's just so beautiful. I'll take all that and I'll reapply if I have to. I'll just take the fact that it fades, but it lasts about 4 hours before it starts fading. So really, that's not that bad. Excuse me. All right, we have some powders, bronzers, and blushes here. And the first one is Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Vitamin D pressed bronzer and Vitamin D. It smells like coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it smells like coffee. Smells so good. As you can see, I'm starting to hit pan. I know a lot of people don't like Jaclyn Cosmetics. I know she's kind of stirred the pot, but it's a very smooth and silky, soft and lightweight bronzer, and it's got a mirror, so I love that. Again, great for travel. And it's just I love the shade Vitamin D. It's just a very soft, silky, smooth bronzer that I feel like the shade works really well for my skin. And then the next one is from House Labs. It's the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in Light Level 3. And clearly this one's used more than that one for sure. but it's just the formula. It's like a cream to powder, and it's just such an interesting texture. I've even started to hit pan on this one, and again, I love Haus Labs packaging, but it's so pretty, and the shade's even better than the Jaclyn Cosmetics one. It's so silky. It's more silky than the Jaclyn Cosmetics. I mean, look at that. It just blended out within seconds, and it's got this cream to powder formula, but it sets so beautifully, and it's got like this not iridescent, but a little bit of a glow to it, but very light and beautiful and healthy looking and natural. I will repurchase this. I've actually thought about putting it in my cart for the VIB sale to have as a backup because I'm close to hitting pan, but I don't want to do that. I haven't done it yet. I'm deciding. The thing that's keeping me from doing that is I don't want to do that and then end up having that back up and it going to waste. And then we have the Haus Labs Color Fuse Blush in Pomelo Peach. I'm not typically a peach blush person. I'm more pink or berry toned. But this, you guys, again, I love the packaging. I love that it's different than the bronzer too, because then you can tell which one is which. But this shade is so beautiful. And as you can see, I use it a lot as well. It's peach, but it's got a little bit of a pink to it. Let's put it on here and blend it out. Seconds, there we go, we're done. It's so pretty. It's just like the bronzer, just in a blush form, and I love it for the same exact reasons. And then one more blush. We have the Too Faced Blurring Blush Cloud Crush in Golden Hour, and I love this. It actually, you know, a lot of people said they didn't see it blur their skin, but it blurs my skin. I've got the texture where my blush would go on my cheeks, and it blurred that texture out. I think the packaging's cute. I've not liked a lot from Too Faced, so I was kind of surprised when I fell in love with this. And I will say the packaging can be hard to open. It is tiny, but it's mighty. As you can also see here, it's well loved. It's a very pink color, but I do really like it. And you'll see here how it's just very smoothing. It's very blurring. It blurs. Like, as you see, it just blurred that part of my hand. So maybe for some people it doesn't, but for me, it does a great job of blurring out the texture on my cheeks. All right, let's go ahead and go in with eyes, and then we'll do lips and we'll be done. To start, I only have one eyeshadow because honestly, I'm someone that I haven't really been into eyeshadow much, but there was one palette recently. It's not in here because, again, it was tried after spring and summertime. That kind of changed my mind about eyeshadow. Now I've got a couple eyeshadow palettes I want to pick up during VIB sale. But this one I tried in the summertime and I love it. And as you will see, it's very well used. It is the e.l.f.'s new shadows that came out over the summer. It's their Perfect 10 shadow in Summer Breeze. It's an all matte, but it's a warm toned. I'm a very neutral, warm toned person. I have started to love cool tones, but it's very warm toned and it's a neutral and I love that, but it's just so creamy and smooth and it blends really well and you have like no fallout. I've not experienced any fallout, and it made me, this one I guess I would say made me start looking at eyeshadows more. Let me rephrase that. The most recent one isn't the one that got me to start looking at shadows again and get back into them, because before that I would do a very quick eyeshadow look, or I would do whatever powder bronzer I was using, or if I was using just a cream, I would grab a powder, put it in my crease, a little bit of shimmer on the lid and call it good. This got me back into looking at eyeshadow palettes and wanting to try others. And then the most recent one has made me want to jump more into higher end ones, because I've always thought higher end palettes are not worth it. Like, no, they are, especially the one that you guys will be seeing this month in a speed review. It's worth it. But this is beautiful. This is worth the $10, I believe it is as well. And it's an all matte. They have different ones, and I think some of the others have shimmers in them. But I liked the all matte because I've also really gotten into liquid shadows and stick shadows this summer and fall, or summer and spring. Although the one stick shadow I've tried, because I haven't tried the others I want to try from the drugstore, I didn't like. So that's not in here. But we do have a liquid one. And that is the NYX Ultimate Glow Shots. It's a brightening liquid shadow, and I have mine in Gauzy, and this is beautiful. It doesn't crease, it doesn't crack. It blends very well with just the applicator. You can use the doe foot here, blend in, it blends well. You can use a brush and it blends well. Such a beautiful shade. I'm almost out of it. I need to pick this shade up again, and I want to try some other shades. It's a beautiful gold, and it goes so well with this e.l.f. palette here. I paired these two together all the time over the summer and springtime. Like, so beautiful. And it wears really, really well. It obviously transfers because I have hooded eyes, but I know that's going to happen, so I don't mark anything off of it for that reason. All right, and then we have 2 drugstore mascaras. Now, I do have a couple really good higher end mascaras that I like, but you guys will see those in my fall and winter favorites because those were not, again, tried in spring and summertime. I don't know why I keep saying that because I've said a million times, these products are products I tried in spring and summer. We're just barely into fall right now. But that is the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift and the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. These two give 2 different effects. So the e.l.f. Lash and Roll is like the Benefit one. We did a dupes video on this channel, and I would agree this is a dupe for it. It's got the typical one. We have the smaller, shorter bristles. It's got the curve here, the flat end here. This gives a very natural, beautiful look. So an everyday great drugstore mascara for very dirt cheap. Then you have the Telescopic Lift, which the wand is very unique. And I will say it took me a while to adjust to it and get used to it. It's very flat. It's more flat on this end, and then it pops out a little bit here. You have thin bristles on each side, but they're a little bit thicker than the e.l.f. one. The wand definitely takes some getting used to, but the effect of this is beautiful. It's, again, a good drugstore price. And it gives the same effect as some of the high-end ones I've tried and that I have that I like. But the wand, just, I don't know. The wand, it took me a bit. The e.l.f. one is more of a dry formula. This is more wet, so you do gotta be a little bit careful. But if you're wanting more of a dramatic effect with your lashes, if you're wanting, you know, very volume length mascara, this will definitely give you the beautiful length. Again, the e.l.f. is more of just a natural type of everyday look. This I will use when I'm going out or some type of special event. All right, we're almost there, guys. We have lips and then we're done. And we're going to start with 2 masks. We have the Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Mask and Birthday Cake. I love this. Before I tried this one, it was the Laneige one that I was in love with. This one's better than Laneige. It hydrates, it plumps, it smooths my lip lines. Again, I'm going to be 39. This is one that's in my cart for the VIB sale to repurchase because I cannot get enough of this lip mask. I love it. There's a little tiny bit left, so I'll share it with you. I'm sure you've all heard about it, but it's so beautiful. It's so hydrating. I'll put it on while I'm doing my makeup to hydrate my lips. I'll wear it at nighttime, and when I wear it at nighttime, I wake up with the most hydrated, plumped, smooth lips. Like, I will always repurchase that over the Laneige one now. I'm trying the next one that I have in my cart right now in a different scent than Birthday Suit, just to try it out. But Birthday Cake, don't know where Birthday Suit came from. Birthday Cake is such a delicious scent. And then we have from ColourPop, it's their other brand, Fourth Ray, their coconut overnight mask. And this one is just as good as the Lawless, just a lot cheaper. It's a little bit thicker and stickier, but it does such a good job at hydrating. It doesn't smooth my lips, so I guess not as good as Lawless. It's a little bit less as good as Lawless, but it's a good alternative. As you see here, here's the Lawless, here's the ColourPop. It's a little bit stickier. This one doesn't have any sticky to it. This one's stickier. It definitely hydrates, and it feels very good and nourishing on my lips. It doesn't smooth the lines though, and it doesn't plump. It just gives a good hydration. All right, and then we have one lip liner, and that's from About Face, and it is their Fix Lip Pencil. It's a matte one, and I have it in the shade. Is there a shade on here? Midnight Seduction, and I'm almost out of it. I have it in my Ulta cart to repurchase because I really like it for a deeper color. I normally go a little bit more neutral pinky nude on the lips, but this one is like a nude with a tint of red, and it's a darker nude, but it's great for that very dramatic lip look. It's very smoothing. It's very creamy. It lasts for hours. It will last through eating and drinking. I highly recommend this brand. It's a new brand to me that I tried throughout the summer, and it's a great lip product. And then we have a lip scrub, and that is the new ones from e.l.f. It's their, I guess it's just reformulated from their old ones. I have mine in coconut. And again, I'm someone that I like to use up products. I don't like to waste. So I'm taking a Q-tip and scraping out the last bit, but it's in my Ulta cart to go ahead and hit ship when I've got all that scraped out. This has lasted me for months. It really does a great job at exfoliating the lips. It takes all those dead skin cells off. It's really easily to be washed off at the end when you're all done. I love that it's not a pot. I love that it's like this. You just push it up. Nothing's gonna come out because it's pretty much gone. And then I'll put it on my lips. I will apply it that way to help with the exfoliation, and then I'll take my fingers and rub it on in, and it smells amazing. Coconut scent is just to die for. I'll probably try, actually I think I am trying a different scent. I think it's like whatever their blue one is. I'm pretty sure that's the one I have in the cart, but I highly recommend this, and it's really cheap. And then we have their new Squeeze Me lip balms. Again, they used to have a lip balm, but they reformulated. I didn't try the old ones, but this is so good, you guys. And I have it in Honeydew, and I'm not out of it yet, but I'm close to. Very tempted to get Honeydew again just because just smells delicious. But there you have it. It's so hydrating. It's a little sticky, which isn't too bad, but I just love it. I love it. It's nourishing. It's a very good, nourishing, juicy lip balm. It doesn't plump my lips, but it makes them really hydrated and juicy looking, and it's for a good price. And then we have these two lip oils. These stole my heart over the summer. I have this one in my Ulta cart to repurchase too. It is the Jaclyn Cosmetics, and her honey drip oils, I think is what they're called, or lip drip oil, something like that. I have mine in honey dip. I love this shade. This is the shade I'm picking up again. I might go ahead and get another one as well. It's pretty much gone. There's a little bit left in there, but it's so pretty. It plumps the lips. The shades don't really matter, I feel like, because unless you go deeper, I guess, because it's very clear, but it does a very juicy, plumped, hydrated, nourishing look to your lips. Like, to die for, $20. Not bad for a lip oil because some of them are more expensive. And then we have Flawless. I have mine in Cherry Vanilla. It's Forget the Filler. It does everything the lip mask does. These paired together are amazing. Now, it will nourish, it plumps, it smooths, it hydrates, and the scent smell is delicious. It's almost like a cherry vanilla cupcake is the scent. And here is the doe foot, so very different and unique. And again, this one does provide a little bit of more of a color than the Jaclyn Cosmetic one. That one has a little bit of a red pinky tone, but it's so good. Both of those are just to die for. All right, two more and then we're done, you guys. I told you it was gonna be a long one. We have, and I'm like dying over here from the heat of the lights. We have two lipsticks. We have e.l.f.'s new one they came out over this summer. It is in Dirty Talk. It's their satin lipsticks. This is like very much high-end type of formula. It's creamy. It lasts such a good time. The component is very cute. It's very sleek. It's very reminiscent of high-end. It's a magnetic closure. And there's the shade right there. It's so pretty. It's been compared to Pillow Talk. I would say the shade's a tad off. The formula is very close to Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. And it's just very creamy, smooth. It lasts a very long time. It transfers. It's just a normal satin cream lipstick, but for a great price. And it just feels very comfortable on the lips. And then you have Flawless. As I said, I tried out Flawless a lot over this summer. Very cute packaging as well. I have mine in the shade Cookie. It's magnetic as well. So again, very sleek, beautiful packaging. It's a little bit lighter than what I typically go for. However, paired with a darker lip liner like the one from About Face, it's a really good one. But it's just a beautiful, little bit darker. It's a little bit lighter on my lips than what it's looking in the swatch here. But it's just a beautiful, darker nude, creamy. It lasts, it's a lot like, honestly, these are a lot the same. A lot of things that I said about this, I repeat about this. So, I mean, what's the point, I guess? But I love both of them, and the shades are different. They have a lot of different shades for both. But the formulas are very much the same. The packaging are very close, and they're both beautiful formulas. All right, you guys, that was a lot. They usually always are, because it's all the stuff that I tried over spring and summer that I just love and cannot get enough of. So again, my favorites. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching this with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I hope you decide to stick around and smash that subscribe button. I will also have linked down below all of my referral links for subscriptions that I do. And then I will also have my social media down for you guys, for you to follow me over there for more beauty content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you here very soon. Bye.